Okay, just gonna get right into it. So this is my week 4 progress vid. Ultimately, I completed it after this week and I shipped it out to GameJolt.com. Link in the description if you want to try out the game. So the first thing I improved, or one of the many big things I improved, was the main menu. Or I created this menu this last week, and I wanted to make it a lot more alive than your traditional menus or the traditional ones that I've done before, where it's basically the level itself of the game and they're just walking around. I drew inspiration from Outward and another game like Valheim, where their main menu is just alive and it just looks so beautiful. So if you go to the credits, you can see our credits. It's me and then a sound designer that I found on a website, freesound.org or something like that. And then these black lines at the bottom and top just makes it more cinematic in my opinion. And if we enter the game, first thing I want to show you is the pause menu. So we have your basic pause layout, resume, controls, main menu, and then I added a stats menu in here, which I thought was really cool. I originally didn't want this to be here, I just wanted it to be on the main menu, but I kept it on the player's UI as well, because I felt like since I didn't have a month, or since I only had a month to create this game, I wouldn't be able to create a tutorial along with this level and do the level design and everything all by myself. So rather than teach the player the game mechanics through an introduction level, I rather just keep the UI here, so whenever the player gets into the game and they see their hunger and thirst ticking down, they automatically know they're in survival mode. They have to look for food and different resources. So yes, so if you go back to the pause menu and click controls, just the basic control scheme. Anytime a player feels like lost or they just want to know what other kind of things they can do in the game. Yes, so another overhaul was the level itself. Obviously before it was just a bunch of cubes, blocks, and cylinders and all that other stuff, but thanks to Jake, good friend, he introduced me to the Unreal Engine terrain system, which I had no idea was even in this engine until he introduced it to me. So instead of the blocks and all that, I used the terrain system, messed around with it for the first time, and I feel like I did a pretty good job of it. And it looks really good. It looks a lot more alive. And I also replaced a lot of the assets. Instead of just like a random stick, it's a fruit tree, so you pick this up, food's added to your inventory. And then these crates, instead of just square boxes, yeah, all that good stuff. And then the trees itself, and then some props all the way in the back with the building that I'll get to later. All that good stuff looks really nice. And also, not to mention, the music in the background fits the aesthetic of the game, that medieval times era. It's just really good. And a bunch of sound effects I also added in the game. Like this crow, it just makes the game feel more atmospheric a little bit, along with the sound or the song. So they're just squawking along anytime you get near one. This enemy, whenever he hits you, you take damage and you can make noise, and anytime you hit him, he makes a hurt noise and then dies. So whenever an enemy dies, they have 5 different sound effects it'll be randomized through. So chooses a number 1 through 5, whatever number's chosen, that is the sound that will be corresponded to the number. So hitting the crates is the sound effect here, and anytime an enemy gets hit or dies, and whenever a player gets hit as well or deals damage. So one thing I want to mention as well is I removed the shield that used to be on the player because I feel like it was no longer necessary. There used to be a giant shield here, and anytime you press right mouse button, an animation would play as if it was shielding the player from any harm, which is not good because it actually didn't defend the enemy or the player from anything. So just decided to remove it, otherwise it would be a farce for the player. And yes, that is pretty much it. I'll just show you around the level a little bit more. Oh, another thing as well, if I can get some food here or a drink by killing one of these enemies or just interacting with the crates. A few more assets as well, instead of just shapes for the crates or for the food and the drinks. instead of the foods and drink that I had before. It was originally just spheres and cubes, but now the food is an apple and the drink is just a bucket of water. So I made it really hard to get food and drinks as you progress through the game, or just playing the game in general, just for more of a sense of urgency. So as you heard there, whenever I press spacebar to consume the food that I have over on the left side, you can hear the player just eating the food, some little type of sound effect. And if you can find that bucket of water, yeah. So it's a lot more rare to get drinks than food, because that's just how it is in tune with human life. It's a lot easier to starve yourself, depriving yourself from drinks rather than starving off of food, but there's also the case where you can just pick up like some type of food off of this tree, and it makes it easier to get food into your wallet here, but it's very difficult to get drinks in general as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my whole game. So thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you'll stick around next month as well to see my progress for the new game that I come up with. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing, but I might either stick with the survival stuff or branch off to something new. I really love survival games, so I kind of want to improve myself in this genre and see if I can be the best I can be in that field there. Or I'll just create something completely new and give it my best to whatever else I decide to do. But thank you.